Hello, it's Mr. Washahi again, and this video is going to talk to you about how to calculate simple interest. First, let's go over what exactly interest is. Interest, that's a fee for borrowing money. For instance, if I borrow a certain amount of money from a bank, I'm going to pay that money back, but also they're going to charge me interest, which is their fee for borrowing their money. And the amount of interest depends on how big the loan was, the percentage rate, and for how long it took me to pay it back. This video is going to go over simple interest. So first, let's go over our formula. Our formula is I equals PRT. I, that's the interest. The P, that's the principal. Principal is going to be a dollar amount. That's how much you borrowed or how much you loaned. It's going to be separated in parentheses because we're multiplying. R is going to be the rate, or the percentage rate. And then T is going to be the time in years. It's really important to remember that because sometimes you hear of loans and it tells you how many months, but it's always going to be calculated in years. So time in years. I equals PRT. Okay, so let's go over an example. So let's say I took out a loan for $10,000. My percentage rate was 5%, and I paid it in 10 years. So I'm going to label with the parts of my formula. I've got my principal, which is my beginning balance, my rate, and my time. And then I just put them in my formula and multiply. So 10,000 my percent. The only thing you have to remember is your percent has to be written as a decimal. So I'm going to convert my 5% into a decimal by dividing by 100 or by moving my decimal place 2 spots to the left. So 5% once, twice. So that's going to be what I use for my rate, and then time in years. Okay, so that's what your formula should look like. You got your principal, your rate, and your time. Let's go ahead and multiply those across. That comes up to $5,000. The loan of $10,000 with a 5% rate in 10 years, I owe $5,000 in interest as well. Okay, let's go over one more example. So you got a loan for $7,500 and 8.5% interest rate and 24 months. Okay, let's put them in our formula. My principal, my beginning balance is $7,500. My rate as a decimal, remember, it has to go in as a decimal. I'm going to move it once, twice, 0.085. And then my time. Again, we said time in years earlier, so I've got to convert this 24 months to years. So I know that 1 year has 12 months, so I just divide by 12, and that's going to give me 2 years. Alright, plug it into your calculator. That gives me $1,275. If I want to know the total amount that I paid back, well, I include the interest plus the principal. That means I'm paying back $8,775. That included the principal and the interest earned. So just remember, go to your formula, identify your principal, your rate, and time. Make sure you calculate your rate as a decimal, and make sure your time is in years and not months. Okay, good luck.